All right, everyone. The U.S. Navy has come out to address certain relatively well-known UFO footage from the past, I think from a number of years ago, saying, yeah, we can't identify what it is in these videos, and by the way, you weren't actually supposed to see these at all, like they should have been top classified or something. This is a foible. This is a distraction. Let me tell you exactly why. First and foremost, the term UFO, like all the alien enthusiasts are going, now, this disclosure. It's not disclosure. They're talking about UFOs. Unidentified flying object, and there's some other stupid term that they use now. They probably do that so that things don't get categorized as UFOs, so they're less searchable at the information age. Like, literally just a soft version of a cover-up. I actually believe that. Like, there's a reason why terminologies change rapidly. UFO means an unidentified flying object. If someone throws a ball, and I see it out of the corner of my eye in the air moving past me, flying past me, and I can't readily identify what I just saw, I think maybe it's a bird, maybe it's a plane, maybe it's Superman. It's a UFO. It's not an alien, it's not a flying saucer, but it's a UFO. I've looked at the footage involved. I do believe it's compelling. Not necessarily for little green men, but there's something in there that appears to be intelligently controlled. It's not identifiable, which means one of several things in my mind is true, especially when you have an object capable of changing course in the air and moving at very rapid speeds that's apparently real. It's not doctored. If it's not a hoax, and it's not, some natural phenomenon, it's not like ball lightning or something. This includes intelligence. The movements of the object are not random and erratic. They are apparently pre-planned. They're coordinated. It could be U.S., that is, it could be some sort of military test that even most people in the Navy don't know about, some CIA top secret project or something. It's possible. It could be something beyond top secret, like even the president's like, I don't know, some dude in a black coat won't let me in this room, near this aircraft hangar. I'm getting a little bit nervous. The only people allowed in are all named Rothschild. I wonder why. Rothschild or they're part of the Walton family. They sing for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. It's making me nervous. I saw a bunch of Mormons file into this hangar, and then they denied me the vice president entry, that sort of thing. It could be U.S. military intel. It could be foreign, in which case, trust me, the U.S. military is not going to readily identify it. They would rather you think that it's a little green man than the idea that, like, Russia or China or any other nation has developed something that's capable of going under the radar, so to speak, and flying around at a whim in our airspace. Because it would terrify people. If they knew that it was potentially possible for such a thing to happen, of course they would cover it up. Of course, it's always possible it is little green men. Yeah, but it's possible. Look, we probe other planets. The idea that it would have to be a flying saucer or something couldn't be just like, a little toaster-sized cube floating through the air. I would think if intelligent life did intend to probe our planet, it would utilize something. It would be probably non-biological, because think about it, our atmosphere, it's full of two things, water vapor and bacteria. That's not great. It would probably be mechanical. It would be maybe autonomous, or it could be remotely operated, and probably be small, unobtrusive. And it would probably topically resemble the sort of things we'd be capable of creating. Look at the political situation on this planet. A bunch of different countries that don't data share and compete with one another. Well then, aliens want to probe the planet. All they have to do is count on the fact that human governments will cover it up to their population, and they would know this because they would have been listening in anyway. And if they fire on the object, they're not going to be able to bring it down anyway. It could be UFO, it could be extraterrestrial. I'm not discounting that, I'm just saying it's not altogether likely. I don't think that we're particularly interesting. If there are alien life forms out there that are multi-world or even multi-star system, they probably don't care too much about us because we're backwards. It'd be like if we found primitive life on another planet, our science being as it is would generally prescribe not to directly interact if possible. Like, there'd be people who would argue for, caveman rights if we found a planet full of, primitive hominids or something. I'd be one of them. I'd say leave them alone. Hopefully they don't develop nuclear weapons. They'll still be around a million years from now. Not as much hope for us as for them maybe at times. The technology that saves our lives can also take it. It's very, very sad. Anyway, this isn't disclosure though. It's just a foible. These are, pictures and videos of objects, and they're labeling them basically UFOs. That can mean anything. It doesn't mean it's not a man-made object. I would be much more concerned, by the way, if it were a Chinese or a Russian or similar object. It had been engineered in such a way that it was capable of skirting around our own Air Force undetected largely, or detected but incapable of being intercepted, incapable of being identified. That would be terrifying, because think about if you took that technology and made it nuclear. You could sneak a bunch of shit into a country and launch a preemptive strike that would completely decapitate any possible response. Well, that wouldn't be good now, would it? So yeah, it should definitely shock you. They finally admitted that some of this footage that they largely had said, well, we're not sure what it is. Oh, well, yeah, but maybe it's fake. Oh, we don't know we can't tell you anything about it. Oh, by the way, it's real. Yeah, this is real footage from from the U.S. Navy. It depicts an object we can't identify. And by the way, you weren't even supposed to see this. I actually believe that that's true, the story that they're telling with regards to that. I don't think the public was meant to see it. In some cases, somebody up in the air might, record something on their own and not log it in. Of course, that'd be highly illegal and potentially result in their ousting, or maybe they end up with a one-way ticket to Gitmo. It'd be a little bit of a problem. The problem is that if there are like UFOs and shit out there, anyone who really sees something, they might end up, in a CIA black site facility. So I guess that makes disclosure a little bit less likely. Also, it's funny, the Russians have embraced the idea of some of the spooky woo UFO stuff way more than the U.S. government. I think they do that because internet subcultures then trust them more. It makes propaganda maybe a little bit easier. That's about all. Peace out.